listening to the LOZ Podcast Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the LOZ Podcast Network. My name is Ken Lawler. I'm the host of the LOZ Podcast Network. And you are either listening to us on KRMS radio on Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., or you're watching it in the LOZ app Podcast Network. Two great ways to find out what's going on at the lake. Today, I'm so excited. I've got Pamela Quinn, the Chief Experience Officer for Lake Days Rentals. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks for having me on, Ken.
Yeah, Pam, you're kind of a mainstay for us. We have you on all the time, but you're so locked into the rental market and what's going on at Lake of the Ozarks. I kind of thought this is a great time of the year when people are kind of evaluating, what happened last year. How much did I use my condo? Am I currently renting my condo myself at the Lake of the Ozarks, or do I want to put it in a rental program? And I just thought it was a good time to kind of talk about that with you. Maybe let people know out there at the lake how they could get on the Lake Days Rentals program with you. You guys are knocking it out of the park. Every time I talk to you, you've added another 20 properties. And so you guys are the leader in the market. And I just felt like we wanted to give our listeners and viewers some really good info as we end up 2025 here.
Absolutely. And it definitely is the time when you're looking at your finances and what does the next year look like. For condos, I know there's been some experience in assessments. There's been some repairs. There's been definitely shifts in insurance. So there's been a lot of shifts in what it looks like to own a condo, not just at Lake of the Ozarks, but in the condo market overall. And where we fit well for an owner is how can we secure some additional income that helps make those shifts in cost of ownership a little less painful. The other side is those costs of ownership, if somebody's looking at selling, those costs of ownership and what the condo market looks like could make it as though it might take a little bit longer for you to sell your condo. So could we get you some income in that interim time frame, and what would that look like? So two different ways to look at it for sure.
And I think that's so important because people when they bought this condo originally, they may have had in their mind, we're going to rent it. That's how we're going to supplement what we want to pay for this condo. And, the market ebbs and flows. So, you've got, obviously during the summer months, it's a little easier to get through, but then you got the shoulder season, which has expanded at Lake of the Ozarks. There's a lot of events now in the shoulder season, but now we're in winter and you might be sitting there with that condo for a month or two without it being rented going, wait a minute, what's going on? You guys are out there. I see you out there. You're doing your 12 days of Christmas thing right now. You're really active. And so I think it makes a difference when you're with a company that's actively promoting those properties all the time, like you guys are.
Yes, absolutely. The exposure you get through us is definitely an up-level experience from any other opportunity you would have in marketing. All of our properties are listed on over 30 sites. And you might think, well, I didn't even know there were 30 sites. And that's true. You may not hear it like the Ozarks, but people that are traveling, say, from upstate New York, they might be used to using a different type of site. We're just getting more and more involved with Marriott. And so all of our properties are going to be featured in the Marriott Bonvoy benefit the Marriott offers. And so if you have Bonvoy points, you can use them to stay at our properties. So our connectivity at the national scale and international scale is definitely a benefit for our condo owners, but our involvement in the local space is too. So for example, the car show, Magic Dragon Car Show, we have all of our properties really heavily advantaged to take bookings over that Magic Dragon Car Show. We already have multiple bookings then. Now, is the normal booking window for a condo this far out? Absolutely not. But when you have things like the Offshore Shootout, Magic Dragon Car Show, the different events that happen throughout the lake, and we, because we're local, know when those are and know how to target the market, that's definitely an advantage for our condo owners.
And that's why we love talking with you because, in the LOZ app, we promote local. You guys are also in the LOZ app. You guys can go under vacation rental and find all the links to the Lake Days Rentals. But the beauty of it is you guys do understand the market and you understand these big, like just what you mentioned, the Magic Dragon Car Show. It's not just a car show. I think last year there was almost 13,000 people on the strip for this car show. It's huge. And a lot of people make special, arrangements to come in town. You guys have all the condos, what's easiest to get to. You might have other things like they've got a car they're bringing for the Magic Car Show. So they need extra space in a driveway, or like Bike Week when they need, to not be on gravel because they want to be on a roadway. You understand all that stuff. And that's that's really key when people are booking with you.
It's important. And it's important that the people that they're talking to, whether they're messaging us on Airbnb or VRBO, and this is really, kind of where it gets critical. They're messaging out 3 or 4 different properties, looking at where they're going to stay. And it's who responds first that really gets the win there. Mm-hmm. So that we have 24-hour connection with all of those sites, that we have people on the phones 24 hours a day, and that we have people monitoring those messages. That's really an advantage. Especially people that have been doing this on their own, that we get a lot of those calls. They've been renting their property on their own and they just can't keep up with the communication. The traveler has higher expectations of the information they're going to receive and the timeline they're going to get it in. So that's where we can step in and deliver better on their behalf. Whereas, they have a job and they have family and they have kids and they have a schedule, and we are focused in on being responsive.
And you guys also, I think what kind of properties you want to focus on for different events. So, I mean, you understand, like, okay, if it's the shootout, I might be bringing in 12 people. So that might be a bigger property, that you're out there promoting. But for the people who are thinking about putting a condo on the program with you guys, what's the typical condo that you guys love to have in the program? Like what really goes first?
So pet-friendly condos are big, and you might think, ooh, I don't want pets in my condo. Honestly, if they're willing to put that pet in their car and travel with that pet for 3 to 5 hours in the car with them, probably going to do okay at your house. The bottom line is pet friendly is the highest searched amenity in VRBO, and it's in the top 5 in Airbnb, and it's been that way for over 2 years at this point. So if you can utilize pet-friendly options in your condo community, and some are restrictive, you always want to follow the rules. But if that's an option, that's always a great way to get into the market and stand out. So that's definitely one way. And the other way is to, kind of work with us on, hey, how can I stand out in pictures? How can I stand out in amenities? Having a wagon on site, for example, where you can carry all the pool toys down to the pool and they can hang out for the day, not running back and forth, creating convenience for them. These are some of the things that we'll guide people through as they're considering putting their condo with us, and give them resources and tips. But the other aspect is pricing. It is a really dynamic market right now, really, really challenging. And so we pay for 3 databases. We use the highest demand revenue management company to support our revenue management. And the best part about it is, one of the reasons they're highest in demand is because not only do they have all of their experts, but they talk to us. So it's not just give it to them and say, here, use your stuff. But it is a weekly conversation with us of what's performing, what's not. Here we're going into Big Bass Bash. We need properties where they can park boat trailers with open boat slips. And here on that week, we want to price those properties higher so that they have a better advantage. Here's our condos that have open boat slips. Some have boat launches on site. Others have trailer parking. But how do we get those condos out there and marketed more effectively? So that combination of the high technology, revenue management, and our local knowledge really creates the advantage for those condo owners on how to promote them specifically for the events. And then in the off season right now, we have an owner. He's a great owner. And he said, I'm not getting the bookings I want. And I'm like, well, where are you willing to go on your rates? Because I can show you where you can stand out in the market. And if you're willing to take those rates, we can book at those rates for a set period of time. And that's our secret on how long that is. And then we'll bump them back up because we'll have captured the algorithm and we know when to set it back to the standard rate. And so we can strategize with our owners to even get the off-season bookings, but we need that conversation, and we need an owner that's flexible and geared towards getting an end result that they want for their condo.
Well, and like, for instance, I mean, this is Christmas week. Normally this would be, kind of a different kind of week. Maybe some people are coming in, but most people are doing their thing, but it's going to be 72 degrees. Now you've got people that say, hey, maybe we go to the lake and celebrate Christmas, or maybe we go to the lake for the weekend and celebrate, and we can get out on our boat because we got a pontoon, but we didn't have to winterize. I mean, you have to be reactive to those things. Weather is big, and especially on a week like this, you might say, wait a minute, let's retool and go after that market of people that might want to come down for a couple of days.
Absolutely. You are absolutely correct. So what we have done, and this weekend is a great opportunity for this, about a week out, it looked like it was going to be nice. And then sometimes that changes because we're in Missouri. But so we looked at that and I'm like, okay, so we're going to adjust our pricing and we're going to try and capture the last minute stay. Because the last minute stay is usually somebody that's spontaneous, but they might not necessarily have $5,000 to $10,000 laying around to grab those big, luxury homes. They're looking for something small, something convenient, something that's going to get them to the lake so that they can have their weekend away. So we strategically priced everything with that focus. We actually just readjusted prices last night on every single property. So, we are in real time targeting those people. And my team is ready to take those bookings on. We just had a meeting this morning. I showed them our little graph. This is where we're at. This is where we want to be. I would love to take 20 more bookings between today and Friday so that we are really serving our owners well. That's where our goal lies.
Well, and so if somebody wants to make a booking, obviously they go to lakedays.rentals. That's the site they go to. They can go through the LOZ app. They can go through VR. There's a lot of places to get you. If somebody wants to inquire about how to get their condo on your program, do they go through those sites as well? Is there a portal in there for them to contact you guys?
There is. So under lakedays.rentals, where it says additional services, there's a place for complimentary consult. That's a great place to start. You can also call our main line, which is 573-836-6566.
That's awesome. Pam, we love having you on. We're going to have you on throughout the whole year, giving us the updates on what's going on with the rental market. It's our viewers and listeners really love it. I think the lesson I took out of today was if I have a condo I want to put on the market and I'm okay with pets and I have an open slip, I might just win.
Absolutely. Definitely in the condo world for sure.
Okay, everybody. Well, thank you, Pam. Have a wonderful Christmas. And everybody else, this is the end of the show for today, but we are so glad to have you. Have a safe and wonderful holiday season. And we'll be back with you another episode next week of the LOZ Podcast Network.